Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk about the biggest mistakes software managers make. My name is Florian. I'm managing more than 100 software engineers that are globally distributed, and I have developed software for more than 20 years now. So trust me, I know the mistakes I have made and my previous managers have made. And if you are a software manager, software project manager, software team lead, then listen to those mistakes and don't repeat them yourself. So let's start with number one. Number one is assuming that your team exactly knows what to do and how to do it. It's an obvious trap that you believe, well, the people are trained, they have a degree, they have been here for quite some while, they know how things should be done. And not checking whether they really know and whether they are really certain what they are doing and whether that's really up to the state of the art of what they should be doing. Because sometimes the team just does whatever was done before. They do it the way it was always done rather than the way it should be done. And if you don't realize that and then do something to stop that by giving them training and making sure that they understand how to do it, then this creates problems for your software quality and many other problems more. So that's important to realize. Where are the limits of your team? Where does your team need support and training to understand how and what they should do? The second mistake that is often made is either not making decisions as a manager or delaying decisions. And in my view, there are two possibilities. Either it's a decision that you as the manager have to make, and then you just have to make it, right? Then you have your team preparing the different options, have the discussion with the team to get the information that you need to make the decision, and then make the decision. The other possibility is it's actually a decision that your team is perfectly capable of making by themselves. But for some reason, they are forcing you to make the decision, either because they want to move the responsibility to you or for some other reason. And in that case, it's important that you make it clear to your team that they are in charge and that they can make this decision. You can support them in the decision process, or if the team is arguing and they can't find the right way, then again it might be that you need to make the decision to keep moving, but you should not always take the responsibility from them and then just make the decision for them. It's important that the team also makes decisions and that they understand what are the decisions they can make and what are the decisions that they need to come to you and ask for your decision. And I, a while back, heard that at Amazon there is this rule of one-way door and two-way door decisions. So there is a decision that is a one-way door where you go through the door and it's hard to come back. Those decisions are usually the ones that are reserved for the manager, right? Because it's hard to revert the decision. The two-way doors are decisions that you can make and you can revert them later on without creating too much fallout. And those decisions definitely should be made by the team. A related topic to not making decisions is pretending you are an expert in all topics and therefore you are the one that makes the decision because you are the boss, right? So first of all, this you are the boss is not something that in 2022 really works, right? On the other hand, you can't be the expert in all the topics and you shouldn't be, right? As a software manager, you usually manage a team of highly trained experts. And you have them for a reason, because they are experts. And that's why it's important to acknowledge that certain things, certain technical decisions, you can't make because you are not the expert. You can support the decision-making process, you can moderate the decision-making process, but you need the input from the experts, you need the support from the experts. And it's really important to acknowledge that also, that your team members are the experts and you are just the manager. And because you have experts in your team, the next mistake that's made quite often is to think or assume that you can move tasks from one team member to the other and you get an equal result both in time and quality. In an ideal team, you will have software engineers with different experiences, with different knowledge levels, and with different specializations. You might have a front-end or a back-end engineer. And if you move a back-end task to the front-end engineer, you might not get the same result. Similarly, when you move a front-end task to a back-end engineer, same thing, right? The back-end engineer might struggle. And this is an obvious example, but of course also in other areas there are examples where this is true. So it's important to understand that you have those experts and they're good at certain things, and that you plan that way and make sure that the experts can do the job they are best at and support them, so that the tasks are distributed in a way that every expert gets the task he is the best fit for, rather than just shuffling the tasks around. And there's a related mistake that's made, is to rely on those experts too much, right? It's never a good idea to just have the one single guy that knows how to do a specific task. Because what happens if this guy is sick for a week? And that's the so-called truck factor. What happens if one of your team members is hit by a truck? Is it a big problem? Do you have a backup strategy in place? It's not a nice thing to talk about that your team members are getting hit by a truck, but it's important to make these kind of considerations, to have a backup, to have somebody that's also trained in this specific task that maybe is not the same expert level than the other guy. That's okay, but at least you have somebody that in the worst case can take over and can do that. So this was my list of the biggest mistakes a software manager can make. Now I'm interested in your opinion. What do you think are the biggest mistakes a software manager can make, or a software project manager can make? What are the biggest mistakes you have made or you have experienced? Write them down in a comment below. And of course, if you have liked this video, smash the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, learn more about software engineering leadership, or about how to master the step from programmer to software engineer, then please subscribe to this channel, and I see you in the next video.